Kai, any JoJo stuff you want to talk about or anything?
Well, JoJo's kind of, over right now till part 5.
JoJo's never over, Kai. What do you mean?
It's over for now. So, like I was saying,
it's temporary. It's on a break. It's on a break.
But I'm down. I'm down for those. I want to talk about a little bit of Dragon Ball Super also. So.
Yeah, especially like. Well, I guess I'll give the introductions, and then you guys just say like, I give a simple hello when I introduce every one of you, since I'm sort of like the temporary, I guess leader fandom group. I don't know. Fuck this.
You kind of are now. We could discuss the fandom group if you want.
Well,
I'm okay with Hero being the leader.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Like, I don't know. I always felt for the longest time Merlin was like the leader, even though he was.
I was, and then
Well, technically, it was like I always wondered.
I
like,
feel like it's kind of both of you guys, because like Merlin comes up with a lot of the topics, and then Hero does all the scheduling and stuff like that.
Scheduling? What's that?
The scheduling.
You do. You're the one that like says, "Hey, are we having a call tonight?" And you're the one that makes it happen, dude. So like,
Yeah, take credit.
I don't know. Alright, fuck it. I'm just gonna introduce everybody. Hello, people. Welcome to the fandom group, or sometimes I like to call it the Discount Party Podcast. Well, unfortunately, Falcon isn't here with me. He's not here. But I'm not alone. I got 3 of my other friends. It takes 3 people to take up Falcon's space. Can you believe that?
Ah, what a compliment. And an insult at the same time.
I like you guys.
I'm 1/3 Falcon.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we couldn't get the other fandom group members, or who knows, maybe they will show up later. But for now, we're gonna go left to right. From my point of view, introduce yourself, Shot.
Hey, it's Shot Anime. I'm supposed to be doing a Yuri on Ice video soon, so stay tuned for that.
Yay. Merlin the Mighty.
Hello, magical viewers. Hello again. I am going to be doing various podcasts on various things, Dragon Ball Super and other things, so look forward to that as always.
And finally, Vaughn the Stampede.
Hey everybody, I'm formerly known as Fetus Kai, but now known as Von Stampede, and whenever I have a video, it's gonna be done whenever I feel like it, so.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, but we're gonna talk about various topics, but if you look in the description box, you'll see the timestamps for each individual list of topics and when they occur. But a simple layout of what we're gonna talk about ranges from Dragon Ball Super, maybe a little bit of JoJo, but definitely some movies that came out, and maybe Beast Wars, which is an American series. Well, technically it's voiced in Canada, so I don't know if that's really true, but yeah, the point is animation, cartoons, anime, whatever, manga, illustrations, anything happens. So I want to share some things first.
Hero's been bugging me for about a month or two to talk about Beast Wars, so this just didn't pop out of thin air, okay? This is preemptive with him. I'll give it what you want, Hero.
Yeah, give it to me.
Oh,
Give it.
Yeah, man, I know that you recently got back into Beast Wars, and I'll just start off by saying that Beast Wars is one of those shows that, from my childhood, that I really loved. It's kind of my generation Transformers, at least in my opinion, and I always thought that, it was really cool at the time, but it's one of those shows that holds up surprisingly well. I mean, obviously the CGI animation was pretty big for the time, and it's definitely rough by today's standards, but what really makes it hold up, and I've actually watched the show a couple times straight through in more recent years, I think 3 times between now and when I was a kid, one time back like when I was just out of college and once a couple years ago, and I think that because of the writing, it really holds up very well for the most part, and I really like it, and I think it's got a bit of a following, and I know, Hero, you seem to really enjoy it, and you said it held up really well. I think you mentioned it was like one of your favorite shows recently.
Yeah.
So, that's my opening.
Yeah, because I had some. Well, I used to watch it back then when it aired on TV and during the Fox Kids, but I never really got to see it on time. Usually, what my mom would do, she would actually record the episode, and when I got home, I would watch it. But even then, there was only a few episodes, so there was also a time period where I had to connect the dots because there were certain blanks in the middle. And it wasn't until recently, in 2016, where I watched the entire series from start to finish. That includes Beast Machines. And I was kind of surprised with the directions the show went, and one of the most recurring themes to me was loyalty and betrayal. Everyone, commits some sort of traitorous act at some point in the show.
Like X-Men.
Yeah, but Yeah, for Beast Wars, I know like one of the most emotional episodes. Well, those two emotional episodes went back to back. I mean, first you got Code of Hero, and then the what was that name of that episode called?
Spoilers incoming, people. Spoilers incoming. What happens in that episode here?
Oh, it's like Dinobot's finest moments, man.
Well, and it's interesting too. That's considered to be not only the most popular episode. I believe it won an Emmy too.
It did, and actually, I was kind of curious about the structure of the show, like what went behind it, because obviously the fact that it was there to sell some toys, I was kind of curious how did certain things went down, and by looking at the bonus features of the DVD collection, it pretty much implied that when the toys didn't sell so well, they had to cut off some characters.
Yeah, like what was it? Air Razor. She was cut out pretty quickly.
Air Razor and Tigertron, along with Pterosaur and Scorponok, they were taken out of the show.
Well, Tigertron was basically the action figure was just painted over Cheetor.
Yeah, but with stripes, man, Cheetor has spots.
Yes, huge difference. Well, I have to say, I always kind of liked Scorponok and Pterosaur, though. It's kind of a shame they died with like no mention of them ever again.
Yeah. They suck. Well, I don't know. It felt like I kind of want to get the other guys in here, but Kai and Sean, have you guys heard of Beast Wars or seen bits of it?
I seen them when I was younger, but I have to be honest, like I don't remember a thing.
Oh.
And I think when I watched them, they were not in English, so now I don't really remember at all what the story was about. I do remember one episode, but not enough about it to
What was
accurately talk about it. Like when one of them was dying. No, like for good, and they all had to like say bye. Yeah.
Oh, was probably Dinobot.
Maybe that's the one that hurt the most. But I do know that the Japanese version of Beast Wars, their opening, they changed it into this Japanese rap.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that is true.
they changed it to a rap, and then for some reason, Air Razor, one of the female Maximal, they actually changed her to a guy in the Japanese version.
What?
Yeah, no idea.
She clearly has breasts. She has robot breasts.
Yeah, so I was curious about that too, because there were some scenes with her and Tigertron that were they're clearly they're more than just friends. So
Yeah,
maybe it was just they translated it into like camaraderie or something.
oh yeah,
Instead
that's some very some very intimate camaraderie when you're holding hands, looking at the flowers.
Well, look, you're on a planet, okay, out in the wilderness, two people, happy.
Tiger and Bunny.
Oh.
Yes.
What about you, Kai? Any Beast Wars memories?
Yeah, actually, I have a few memories of the show, and I had the action figures. I had the Optimus Prime when he was that gorilla.
Yeah.
And I had Megatron when he was that Tyrannosaurus Rex. And I did collect the toys. And I think the last memory of Beast Wars, correct me if I was wrong, I don't know if this was the last episode, but I remember I think it was a meteor coming, hitting Earth, and everything was wiped out, and I don't know if they died or not, and I was like, well, I guess that's it.
Oh, that's the ending of the first season, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, then.
When they think they're gonna die.
Yeah, when they think they're gonna die, but then, like by the power of Hasbro, I think, or Mattel, I think it was Hasbro. Yeah, by the power of Hasbro, no one died, and then look, we're back with new designs. That means new toys.
You can buy our new toys.
Yeah,
Yeah. Also, these are the same people who it was a Canada production, correct?
Yeah, the dub was done in Canada.
Yeah, like that company, they also did Reboot.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of cool though.
Yeah,
other than that, man, my Beast Wars memory is kind of vague since I only saw like the first season.
Yeah.
And Canada does everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean.
A lot of the current American animation is done either in Canada or Korea or Philippines.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean minus Disney and Pixar, but and all those movie studios. But anyway, keep going. Go on.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say. I don't have anything else to say about Beast Wars instead of like I didn't see the first. I mean, not the first, but the second season.
Yeah, because yeah, the second season starts off like on a very good note. I mean, they're like outnumbered and shit, and then out of nowhere they threw in like one of the most coolest scenes of the whole series, where they have like a little western shootout with the music and everything. Like it was so epically subtle. I guess that's the best way to put it, because you got like this clock ticking down and everyone's showing up, and then they're lining up side by side and they pull out their guns. Then that's when you can start your roundabout joke. That's literally when the episode ends. I'm like, shit.
Well, I do know that I think the second season was probably the high point for the writing. So
yeah, but third season, I'm just like, fuck everything.
third season, they were just like, look,
No.
sell more toys, let's wrap this up. Nothing makes sense.
Yeah, let's just sell more shit.
You know, one of the cool things about that show is the aliens that were watching over Earth. We never find out anything about them.
Yeah, it's sort of like we just kind of came here because we're gonna test some society that shows up on this fucking planet. Then like, nah, I don't know. I don't fucking. Cause to me, yeah.
I think to keep our buddies here kind of more included, we'll have to have a more in-depth Beast Wars conversation later.
Yeah, probably after the call.
I'd recommend, if you guys have the time, to go back and try to watch it, because it actually is a very well-written show.
Yeah, the bonus feature said that they were really inspired by a bunch of sci-fi stories, and including Star Trek. So
yeah, they tried.
Yeah, they tried to throw in everything. And then, I mean, for fuck's sakes, Dinobot was quoting Shakespeare.
Literally every episode he was quoting Shakespeare.
Yeah, to be or not to be.
Dinobot is best character.
Yeah, that's
Dinobot
what. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Anime time. So, what has people been watching recently?
This season, to be honest,
Mm-hmm.
I tried to watch a lot this season, and it's just the pedo / like visual game dating game factor is a little too high for me, so I haven't really found anything this season in particular.
What about last year then? Like anything like, I don't know.
Last season?
Yeah, last season I watched like more anime than I ever have in a year.
Last season I think I did watch quite a bit of it. Gosh, let me look at a list. Sorry, I should have prepared one for this. I'm still prepared for everything. I watched a little bit of the Flip Flappers.
Oh, I've seen all of it.
Yeah, so I think I will watch the rest of it, but I had to stop because I was originally watching it with my kids, and then after a few episodes, I was like, I can't watch this with them.
Yeah,
it's quite interesting because the style of animation and the animation direction is something aesthetically that I'm totally into. So I'll put that out there. But the story and stuff is kind of also, I'm very conflicted. Like, the story is sometimes kind of way out there to the point where I have a hard time buying it, but then the animation is so good that I just forget about that, you know? So I kind of have this love-hate thing with it. But I think I'll definitely finish it just for the aesthetic reasons and stuff. But this, I don't know what they call it, I forget, but that place that's...
Pure Illusion.
The source of her energy starts, how it's in her inner thigh near her crotch,
Yeah, that.
Why?
Yeah, because there's a lot of moments where I'm just like, I would tell you to show it to your kids, but at the same time, it's like, there's moments that I'm like, they're not.
Yeah, I did watch, which I'm a little sad about that there's not more videos of it, or that they didn't continue with it, or have they been? Oh, they have been, and I just did not notice because it's not been updating. What the hell? So I'm currently watching March Comes In Like a Lion, and I have not read the comic for that, but I quite like that one. I don't know if you guys saw that one or not.
I didn't, but I think Falcon might have, or if not Random, one of those two might have, maybe.
Yeah, and I also watched whatever is available of My Teenage Snafu, My romantic comedy teenage snafu, I think is what it's called. Or one of those.
Is it real teenage snafu?
I don't know. I think it's called like teenage romantic comedy snafu or something like that. It's the English name for it. What else have I been watching? I tried to watch the one about where they took different warriors and put them all in the same
Drifters.
world. There you go. Yeah. And I've only watched like the first 2 episodes of that one. I really liked the animation for that one, and I hope to finish it. I got distracted this month, so I have a lot of unfinished things. But what have you guys watched?
I've seen a lot, but just for right now, I'm just for the sake of shits and giggles, I'm gonna mention like the stupidest show that no one watches.
What's that?
Heybot.
What's that?
It's about this toy robots and they play around with screws. It's like, okay, you would think, I was thinking it to be like Metabots where, you know, they get these different robots and they battle each other, get different parts, but no, it's not that type of fighting. They fight by telling jokes, and that's it.
That sounds interesting at least.
But no, I don't think the jokes translate well over here because I don't find them funny. It's just like one little thing.
Oh, yeah, jokes don't translate well from Japanese.
Yeah, because they're Japanese pun heavy, so, but the whole humor of the show is ridiculously outrageous over the top because it's very much in the style of Bubble Bowl type of thing where random shit keeps happening. Yeah, but I find it amusing from time to time. But the thing is, what I find so interesting, because it's a 2016 show, it's still going on with more than 17 episodes or so I don't know. But the point is that what I find weird is that there's a bunch of references to older anime from like 70s and 80s. And I'm thinking, you know, for jokes, but I'm thinking, you know, a kid growing up watching this is not going to get any of those things. Because it's a Sunday morning anime, so I'm just like, I'm not gonna get it.
Or they might. You never know.
I don't know.
They do show reruns of like older shows back then, if it's popular enough. But yeah, I wouldn't think they would know about it.
Yeah, I mean, because
maybe that's just for the parents.
I'm guessing because it went from Aim for the Ace to Ashitana Joe to Kiniko Man. Well, they're popular, but they're popular, but I'm pretty sure kids still. I mean, the thing is, the jokes don't always make sense either because there was one early one that had to do with The Grudge, but the way the joke flowed, I didn't think about what it was at first. Because first, an example.
Well, all of the things that you mentioned are actually super mainstream in the way that like Simpsons is mainstream for us. That even if we don't watch The Simpsons, we still know who they are, kind of thing, and what they're all about. So maybe there's that.
Well, I don't know.
Especially The Grudge.
Yeah. Well, the one. Well, I know that one because actually, here's the thing. In one of the episodes, the Ring character comes out, but she's actually a recurring character for some reason. No idea why. She's just there. I'm like, okay, whatever. But most of the time, the jokes are just pretty. It's pretty gross out humor, and then there's jokes there. I'm like, that is not a kid joke, because in the first episode, right off the bat, there's like a robot and it needs some batteries, and then this other robot, it's like a monkey thing, is like telling the kid to put in the batteries, and he goes up to him, "Hey, are you a battery virgin? Have you ever tried batteries?" I'm like, what the fuck is that? Yeah, so I'm just like, but yeah, but a lot of the time there's a lot of nasty imagery in there also, so it's just like you'll see like booger face and all that shit, and then yeah, but one of the jokes that never made sense to me is the way that flow, because, you know, like I said before, doing the Grudge joke, but when they cut to you see the character, you know, dressed up like a human person, I was wondering, and it just says, "What's your name?" Then they cut away to some other thing, and I'm kind of wondering what the heck was that about. And then somehow, in a later scene, that original Grudge parody was followed, and they show the kid, you know, by the stairway, and I'm thinking, oh, it's supposed to be the Grudge, but then why did you have all this shit in the middle? Like, the joke would have flowed better if you didn't cut away after all. And it was not just like a 5-second cutaway, it was like a 5-minute cutaway from that original gag, so I'm just like, what the hell? Yeah, so, I don't know, it's all over the place, but I'm kind of wondering if it's going to go in a darker route, because the first episode started like in the future when they're having like this gigantic battle, and then it just flashes back to when they're kids, and I'm thinking, is this going to be like a huge shift?
It kind of sounds like the equivalent to like when we had Animaniacs, actually.
Okay.
Where there's all these adult jokes, but it was a show for children.
Mm.
Yeah,
Well,
Does that make
yeah,
sense?
but I guarantee you, Heybot's nowhere near as sophisticated as Animaniacs.
Oh, I don't know. Animaniacs had some pretty sophisticated humor. Like you would have to like. It required a lot of knowledge of like Steven Spielberg, which, come on, in reality, what child knew that much stuff about him and everything? So maybe it's kind of like the equivalent of that. And I know that culturally, like Japan is kind of where we were. Not saying that like it's backwards or whatever, but just kind of in the type of humor and the new things that are happening is probably where we were in like late 90s, early 2000s kind of thing. So
kind of the ultimate effect of a more isolationist society, I guess.
yeah, which is slowly changing over there. But we could talk about that in a different video if you want. Or
Yeah,
now. It's up to you.
Hey, heroes got anything.
Hmm.
In charge, hero. You're the host.
Oh, whatever. So, anyways, yeah, that's one little thing I wanted to share. I don't know, it's a total waste of time or not, but like, what about you, Vaughn the Stampede? Got anything?
Okay, I can tell you what I'm watching that's new this season and something old.
That's fine.
What for you? Super, of course. That's no brainer.
Uh-huh.
And I got into watching Yuri on Ice. I'm on the 5th episode, and I was asking like my female friends like what's the appeal about it, and they was saying like, oh yeah, the animation is great and I love it. And I was like, fuck you, cause you're full of shit. I was like, man, this is like I'm not dogging the anime or anything like that.
No, you can. You're allowed to. It's alright. It's a
No,
safe space.
all I'm just saying for like y'all fangirls out here, this is ice skating 4 for y'all. Like I remember, I remember like I was at the anime club and then we were just getting back from break, so I was like, yeah, so you guys seen Yuri on Ice? Like, oh my god, it's so good, man. Look, people, y'all won't believe this, but so one of the female animators, clubs or whatever. They talk about like Yuri on Ice that her face was so red, and to me I was like, man, you may have to change your underwear after that situation. I was like, god damn, I was like, it wasn't even that serious. I was like, look, it's all right. It just wasn't my taste, but whatever. They have a name for it. Damn. I'm like, if you want these characters to like fucking make out, that's fine and all. But I haven't reached that point. All I just saw was mad ass. So
hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that. It was shiny and shit. I was like,
oh man, but Vaughn, I'm curious now because I've been hearing a lot about Yuri on Ice, but it's funny. My initial thought was maybe it's about ice skating, and that was totally random. So I guess I was correct in that assessment. But beyond that, what exactly is it about?
It's about
I've seen the whole thing.
It's about,
okay, well, can you say the whole thing?
I saw the whole thing.
Merlin, the best way to describe it, Merlin, though, it should be called, the reason it's called Yuri on Ice is because of the guy's name is Yuri, but it should be called Yaoi on Ice.
Oh.
Yeah.
There's people that made, like, some fan art of, like, a bunch of, like, Hawaiian girls, like, that can dance with fire, and it's called, Yaoi on Fire.
On fire, there you go.
I see.
It's like, hey, that's cool and fun. I mean, it's just not an anime for me. I'm probably gonna continue watching it, but you won't see me be like, oh my god, this is the most beautiful thing ever. Like, I could trash this shit if I wanted to, but nice.
Well, look,
Yeah.
the reason I find it interesting is because I know that it seems like at least on the YouTube community here, when we talk about anime, usually the series, even the seasonal ones, get the most traction or the more action-heavy ones. So it's just kind of interesting to hear a Yuri romance is kind of getting as much word of mouth as this one. So why is that?
So I guess I'm trying not to say anything if I could put in my 2 cents. No, here, you go upstairs. Hey, Winike, oyasumi.
A little one has joined the podcast.
No, it's time. Daijoubu, mama yaru kara hayaku ike. So it's time for bedtime. She just came down to say goodnight. Oh, daijoubu, mama yarimasu. Daijoubu. So, I'm trying not to say too much that I want to say in my video. To be honest, like, I was supposed to do the Yuri on Ice, video back when it was, like, the 3rd or 5th episode, but because of how the fandom was, I just thought, like, oh god, I better wait till it's all done. So I know, like, you know, because I know, what happens. And even if I say at the beginning that this is just kind of a first impression and I'm up to this kind of episode, the video stays up and people just don't listen, right? And they probably don't even watch the video, and then they blow up with like, oh, that's not what happened, you know, if you've seen the whole thing, blah, blah, blah. So to avoid all of that, because I could see where the fandom was headed,
Rabid.
I just thought, okay, well, I need to make like a more informed, opinionated video, so I'm just going to wait till I watch the whole thing. But by the time the last episode aired, just the fandom just went off the hook. I don't have only positive things to say about it, and I know because of that, like, I'll probably get death threats or something. Yeah, I have to say though, I am a huge fan of ice skating. I love ice skating. Like, when I was little, I loved Christy Yamaguchi. Like, even now, like, I guess Christy Yamaguchi, like, makes, she makes, what is it called? Hi, Wenike. So, she makes, picture books. Oh no, don't cry! I'm hurting her feelings by telling her to go upstairs. Oh, okay, we're hugging. What was I saying? I forgot.
You love ice skating.
Okay, I love ice skating. Like, Christy Yamaguchi now makes, like, these children's books and stuff, and I bought them, and I read them to the kids and stuff, like, you know. And I understand that ice skating has this, time limit, basically. Like, once you reach a certain age, you will not be able to do those jumps anymore. And I believe they touched on that, on Yuri on Ice. So it's, the big character, Yuri, is at that age where people just kind of stop. So, I think for the ice skating factor, 10 out of 10. I totally like screams every time. Because the whole point of ice skating is when they do the flips and the turns, like, are they going to mess up? Mm-hmm. And you could be, like, the best ice skater, and you might still always mess up, right? And so I think that's the beauty of the sport, and that's why everyone watches it. And I totally got that, like, as if I was watching live ice skating. And that's kind of what did it for me, and why I watched the show. But to be honest, I think the appeal of the entire show, whether you're into ice skating or not, and why the fandom has really taken off, is because it's probably one of the only series that solely and successfully, on such a wide audience scale, catered to the fandom, the internet fandom, I think, culture. And what I mean about that is that there was a lot of situations where, like, for example, Fudanshi and Fujoshi can, like, go crazy with, you know, and there was a lot of, like, scenes where, like, it was implied, or is it not implied, for the people who don't, like, 100% want to go there, but just feel comfortable fantasizing, I guess. Since that right now that is part of, like, otaku culture. So, but go ahead, sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, I was like, man, just make out or kiss each other or I don't care, man. Like, don't stop teasing people.
Yeah, I mean, so if you watch the whole thing, I will say that it's not just a tease. So that will be good, I guess, in that regard. I guess it's just fascinating in a way to, like, just to see the fandom and to see the stuff that they went really crazy. Like, they went on the, what is it, Hanryu's Wikipedia page, and they changed his coach's name to Victor, and then they rewrote, like, his entire personal life as, like, he's dating his coach and stuff like that. Huh. So, like, they even went as far as to, like tweet pictures of famous ice skaters. Like, for example, a lot of people think, like, the ice skaters the characters in Yuri on Ice were based on actual current ice skaters today. And so a lot of them would actually, like, go on Twitter and say, like, you know, divorce your wife, you're actually with this person and stuff. So, like, it's just, it got really out of hand, fandom. And I guess some people can say that that's, like, fun or whatever, but let's say on Facebook, while all the, like, I guess I almost said Yaoi on Fire dudes. when Yuri on Ice fandom was just kind of at its peak, I just saw constant posts from a lot of my friends who were Yuri on Ice fans to tell the other fans to calm the fuck down because they were giving everybody else a bad name. So that was I think quite fascinating from my end. But anyway, go on. What do you think?
Yeah, I think the abridged version of that saying, well, people were just very horny around that time of year, so.
It got cold. It got pretty cold, you know. And we were cold.
Well, I know what I'm cosplaying at the Yumicon. Like, hold on, let's get some tights and some ice skates.
Oh boy.
Yeah, but what are you gonna do with those ice skates? Like, some people were trying to like buy actual ice skates, and they were planning on like walking around with them at conventions. And people were like, you know that you're gonna ruin the ice skates and ruin the floor at the convention. Like, if you actually use. If you walk around in ice skates, and to walk around in ice skates actually hurts if you're not used to it, and so people were trying to warn other people because I guess a bunch of cosplayers were just like, I'm gonna buy actual ice skates, and I'm gonna walk around in them no problem. And walking around in them is fine, like it's not, the learning curve to do so is not very bad, it's just gonna hurt, like after 10 minutes, because they're not meant to be walked in.
That's true.
So.
I was just kidding about the whole cosplay. Realize.
Oh no, I knew that. I just thought I'd.
But